Right, let's talk politics now. A crisis point for the Prime Minister, as around 50 MPs are still set to rebel. This will happen tomorrow when the welfare bill gets its reading.
Well, Keir Starmer has admitted in an interview that he lost control of the welfare revolt due to his focus on foreign affairs.
Now, this comes as a polling guru said this is the worst start, he says, the worst start of any newly elected Prime Minister.
So, is it only a matter of time before the Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, makes her bid to take the top spot?
Well, we're joined in the studio now by our political editor, Christopher Hope, on all of this one. So this is quite serious then, isn't it?
It really is not where we thought they'd be, this government. Can you believe it? I mean, on Friday, they marked this one-year anniversary of this landslide win last year. And now look where he is. He's facing maybe 40 or 50 Labour MPs voting against the government tomorrow on the second reading.
But Chris, I'll just interrupt you here and say, how has he got it so wrong on so many issues?
He's been focused on different things.
He lacks some political touch, I think.
But what he lacks the touch is showing it's a socialist government. That's people don't expect him to get rid of heating allowances and disability benefits and all sorts of things and hitting the farmers hard and whatever.
And the irony is, of course, you've got Reform UK saying, well, lift the two-child benefit cap, one thing which Labour won't do. And that's what's so discombobulating, I think, for the two main parties. But yeah, I mean, today we're going to hear the detail of this U-turn announced in that midnight letter last Thursday night by Liz Kendall. She's the Welfare Secretary. £5 billion of cuts it was last Wednesday. Now it's £2 billion of cuts. And will it be £0 billion of cuts once Stephen Timms, who's the pension secretary, pension minister, when he does his review into it? We know the benefits bill is too big. It's going towards $100 billion by the end of this decade. People have to work. They have to get out there and work. They're not working. They're being rewarded for not working. A quarter of young working age people are not working. Why is this happening? They need a bit of stick to work, I think. Everyone thinks. The polls think. Labour members disagree, as do MPs. There's a division between what the Labour MPs want, the members want, and what the public wants. Currently, he's facing towards the MPs. But that's not how you win elections.
Do you know what really spooks me? And we've talked about this off camera and things. AI and jobs being lost to artificial intelligence. And I'll just give you an example. Line judges at Wimbledon, there's over 200 of them which will say out, in, whatever, and they've all been made redundant because computers will now take over and make the same shout.
There's a report out today saying that entry-level jobs, the jobs that our children want to get when they leave university, they're evaporating like water into the sand because of AI.
No, it's really shocking. I'll tell you what else may have been shocking to you is Keir Starmer admitting in an interview that he lost control of this welfare rebellion because he was so focused on foreign affairs. And this is the same man who said he prefers Davos to Westminster 2 years ago. I mean, should we be surprised?
He told that to a kind of a friendly podcast back in January 23, I think it was. I mean, I think it's surprising that you have him saying that his team around him should make sure that in his red box of papers that the important stuff's at the top. So even if you're in, as I was lucky enough to be with him in the G7 in the Rocky Mountains, at the top of his in tray is things he'll think about. But to say in that press conference at NATO last week, it's all noises off, when we're back here doing the numbers saying it's not noises off, Keir, you've got 126 of your own MPs. That's probably half of the people who could be signing up this amendment because the balance are in the government, they can't do it. They're saying reverse. We knew it was going to come. And the scale of it, as I say, they've dropped £3 billion worth of cuts, £2 billion left. That's a pimple on the scale of the size of the benefits budget. We can't have people being paid not to work in this country, given the challenges we face.
Chris, that G7 summit that you were talking about there, I'm hearing different things about Trump as to why President Trump left that meeting. He said he wasn't being listened to, he's being disrespected, and, initially we were supposed to think Iran was a big problem and he was going to look after that. Have you heard anything, or...?
No, I think he looked about of sorts. I think he seemed a bit subdued when he met with Sir Keir Starmer. I had colleagues who were eyeing him up checking him out. He didn't have the virility we're used to when he's in his comfort zone in the Oval Office. He's less comfortable in the kind of multilateral world. There's only one world, and he's the leader of that world. He doesn't been sharing the limelight with other people. He flew back, went to a meeting, an hour-long meeting, I think, in the war room in the Pentagon. The bombing of Iran happened the following Sunday. He left on the Tuesday. It was some time before that, but I think he just felt. I've done my bit with Keir Starmer, and Keir Starmer had a good session. He got small boats discussed on the world stage by everybody at the G7. That's a big thing for him. He got his deal with Donald Trump. He got a deal with Canada to enter this Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership. So I think he did well on the world stage. He's not doing the detail right at home. That's the problem.
What did you make of Professor John Curtis, who's a really respected pollster in this country, saying that Keir Starmer has had the weakest start of any Prime Minister in the past 100 years?
And he added Labour or Conservative.
Yes.
That line wasn't about any political party. He's saying this is a complete disaster. And I think he's right. They are doing some good things, the Labour government. They are tipping money into the NHS. That polls very, very well. They are trying to do their own way of tackling the small boats crisis, which will be probably 50,000 crossing this year, an extraordinary number, and then falling perhaps in the future as France starts to help out. Yes, it hasn't been great. I mean, where is the dynamism? They had 14 years to prepare for this. They seem to come into power, and it was enough to say we're not the Tories. And that's not enough. You need a plan for power. You can't exist to find about something else. Yeah.
Is it premature to talk about Angela Rayner as a successor?
It's not premature because everyone's talking about it. I mean, maybe, yes, it looks unlikely. And to remove, I look at the numbers today, 81 Labour MPs must sign a no confidence note in 40 or 50 rebel tonight. Ellie, you're giving the eye roll there. Yeah,
it's not far off, is it? If we're talking about 50 rebels already and you need 81?
He's not around. I mean, I heard an interview with one MP last week. One MP elected a year ago hasn't had one conversation with the Prime Minister. Now, that to me is surprising. One of the big jobs you have if you're in government is meet the new guys. You know, when we launched GB News, you meet the new guys, you have meetings, you go out for drinks, you meet them in areas of North West MPs, Yorkshire MPs, so it goes on, but not to have a single chat with your leader. No wonder we're told that as many as half of the rebels tomorrow will be those elected in 2024 last year.
Wow.
Well, so it goes on, but you've come to an end, Christopher. Thank you very much indeed for that political insight there on all those issues. Appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Keir Starmer, so anyway, he's so busy with foreign affairs, he's forgetting about his benefits bill, and that's going to be voted on tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's the point. He himself has now said, I was wrapped up in the G7 and the NATO summit. And
he's trying to be honest, isn't he, with this? But it's backfiring.
Well, it's
he took his eyes off the ball.
Well, it's backfiring. I mean, funnily enough, I just ChatGTP, where the Emily Maitlis thing, where he was asked where would he rather be, Davos or Westminster. This is 2023, and he said, his quote is, Westminster is just a tribal shouting place. Once you get out of Westminster, whether it's Davos or anywhere else, you actually engage with people that you can see working with in the future. Now, for me, the point there is you actually engage with people that you can see working with in the future. How about engaging with the people in the United Kingdom who voted you in a position to look after each and every single one of us, rather than being this grand person on this world stage? So he's put his own foot in his own mouth, and the chickens are coming home to roost. So you're right. There was a thing going on while he was away doing what he really wants to do, to be on the global stage.
Good point. Yeah, absolutely. And because I was distracted. Yeah. Hello, you're the Prime Minister. You've got one job: be the Prime Minister.
Correct. That's what That's what we voted you in for. To lead and look after us.
So, I mean, the welfare bill goes for Parliament this week. So many U-turns. I mean, the welfare bill, grooming gangs, national insurance, the freebie gate. Remember freebie gate? Yeah.
But there's questions about his briefing as well in his closed circle. Because if he is at NATO and he is distracted, then his closed circle should be saying, look, there's a rebellion brewing.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to say this. Instead, he's saying they're pretty united on it.
There's no way that he did not know that it was kicking off at home.
I agree with you.
But he was just hoping that if he buries his head in the sand, somebody else will take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah.